You guys are so funny. I have this food with me. I'm surrounded. Oh god. What's up guys? Good morning. Welcome to another episode. Life of Park. What's up fam? So today is not like one of the regular vlogs. First of all, I'd like to address why I'm wearing a hat again. I did something to my hair, but that's for one of the later vlogs. This is just me from the future telling a story of the past, okay? This is a story about one of the most scariest experiences of my life. I genuinely was afraid for my life and I didn't know if I was gonna make it out alive or not. And with me there were two other girls and let me just tell you how this goes. Been in Dehradun for about 4 days now and we were in Maitre's house, which is literally in the middle of a jungle. Now being over there, it had been 4 days and we'd not really taken the opportunity to explore the nature that was around us. So this day we decided that we're going to do exactly that and go for a walk in the jungle, in the river, and just like, you know, spend some time here there and like appreciate the beauty that Mother Nature had provided to us and we were surrounded with. We decided to ingest some plant medicine. If you know what I'm talking about. So here's how it went. Here we go. What are we doing?
I am loving this little bit in the jungle and I could feel myself surrounded by these huge beautiful trees, and it's raining through, and I just took this moment to find a nice little spot.
And it started raining.
Take it all in.
Taking the road less taken. Let's walk all the way there. That was insane. Check this out. So we went for this walk. It had been about like 20-30 minutes since we'd ingested the plant medicine. And you know, we were just walking around the pathway that was there, walking up to the jungle. We were just surrounded by nature like all around us. We were appreciating the beauty. There were some beautiful birds that we saw. People, the grass was so green, everything was so green, especially because of the monsoon, and I just felt really sensitive to everything that was around me, and it felt absolutely amazing. At that point, I remember I was so grateful just to be part of that moment. And as we walked, we were together, but we were alone. What I mean by that is everyone, you know, just kind of kept their space with each other. We were walking together as a tribe, and I remember just appreciating everything that was around us, and I just felt super sensitive to all the sensations that I was feeling. So around 4 or 5 kilometers within the walk, we came across this river which we must have crossed about 1,000,000 times because we have to go to Maitri's house. And while we were crossing it, I remember thinking how I never really thought about where this river came from and what was in there. So Naina was basically leading the pack. She was ahead of all of us, and she saw the river, and next thing I know, as I reached there, she's already walking inside of it. So we just decided to follow her and go with the flow. Okay, so we are going down up that stream rather, and I'm gonna try and find a nice spot. I just realized that the music's been playing while I'm recording. They might have difficulties hearing me.
It's so slippery.
I have no idea where we're going right now.
Anything else? entertain ourselves.
I'm not carrying any rocks today for you.
I'm not doing it either. It's a bad habit. It's not from there.
Maitri, where are we going today?
On an adventure.
We planned that. But
Okay, then turn around.
why? What happened? Dirty. That's where the adventure starts.
So we go to clean river.
Okay.
It's not even a river, it's a stream. Do you want to go to the stream? Naina.
So it was getting really dirty, and we decided to come back to where we started the walk from. So we first went that side. It just got dirty, so we came back. Now we decided to go on this side. Maybe not there, but somewhere there. We decided to follow the other branch of the river that went deeper and deeper. And Maitri told us that she'd been there before, and if we walk around like 30 minutes or something, there's going to be a bridge there. So we could probably like get off there, and that would lead us home from there. So we decided to just go along this path and enjoy this walk in the river, get onto the bridge. We didn't know how exactly we were going to climb it and stuff, but she said she'd done it before, so we just like went with it, and we figured that once we reach there, we'll figure out how to go about the whole thing. As much as this decision led us to the beauty and the adventure that lies ahead of us, it was also the root of the scary stuff that was about to go down, and I was not prepared for sure. I'm high as fuck. Like really high. I just love looking at stones. There's something very interesting about how the design on them is formed. The documentary, I don't remember any of that, but it's a lot to do with the years and years of streams that have been hitting them. It's like a memorabilia of sorts कि जो निशाना छोड़ दिया उन्होंने उस पे अपने wave pass करने का. And that's how they form. Each one is individual in its own way, like us human beings. I'm sorry to say there's so much of a mess over here. It's all coming downstream. So if you think, it goes in the river and it disappears, it does not disappear. It comes somewhere beautiful like this, where you're not expecting to see any like hand of humankind. And there you have it. Look at this. Nature! That's normal Maitri.
Naina, it's too dirty. I do not wish to go in this filth.
Let's go now. Maybe it gets cleaner. Or it won't, because all the dirt comes from there.
Just come on then.
Attachment. Detachment. So we're going up there. There's a water.
Somewhere, everywhere. That's the somewhere I want to go.
Where?
Here, it's here.
Right here.
Here, there,
And other option.
there.
Which is?
The bridge.
We're going to figure out which way we want to go from. But either way, it's an adventure because the bridge. Off, yo. She goes, finds a spot. We keep exploring in the back like weird things. And she goes next where the next plane is opening and she goes and sits. It started raining now. Time to get back. I'm just learning how to walk bare feet on the rocks and it's like a new sport in and of itself. And it's raining properly now. I'm not prepared for this.
It's very easy to grip.
I don't know where the fucking...
It's very easy to grip here because there's sand also.
Where is that bridge of yours, Maitri? Again? Now going ahead, we realized that the river was not actually like 30 minutes ahead because we were making our stops, we were clicking videos, we were doing took us about like an hour and a half or so to kind of get there. Now while getting there, a couple of things that happened were that first, it started raining and we were not prepared for that. This just got bad quick. I'm not going to record much because my phone's not waterproof, but like, see you guys in a bit. I don't know how we're going to do this. That is legit a problem. It was around 6:30, 6:45ish. It was also about to get dark. It started getting dark actually. And the rain was there and it wouldn't stop. It got heavier and heavier and heavier as we kept going ahead. Now there was no place or time to find shelter and stop because if we did that, it would get dark and it wouldn't have been a good decision. So we just decided to keep on going ahead. Everything was about to get wet. We just stuffed everything inside my bag. That didn't matter by the end of it. Maitri's phone was dead. All the contacts that we had were in that phone. My phone was about 20% and Naina's was around the same. And it wasn't like we were prepared with like torches and a GPS or maybe something that could help us get out of this in a safe way because we'd walked in an hour and a half, okay? And all this stuff was going down. Now this was some of the context to the things that were out of our control and we just had to kind of make the best of. But something spooky really happened while we were walking to the bridge. About 10 minutes from the bridge, I remember just seeing these random strings on the side of the river where the rocks were, and I looked at it again and I was sure that this wasn't something that just came down the river and aligned itself there because it was too perfectly kept. It was a patch of strings in a rectangle, okay, on the rocks on the side of the river. Now that rectangle had a cross, a perfect cross made in the middle of it. I'm actually feeling goosebumps as I'm talking about this. And on the edges of the rectangle, there was these diyas, like lamps that were kept there. And just to give you a little more context, a couple of days ago, while we were chilling with Maitri's friends, we all were sharing our experiences with like ghosts and jinns, and Naina had shared some experiences of hers as well. And I looked at Naina and I'm like, Naina, do you see that? And I looked at her eye, and when the moment she saw it, it said everything that needed to. She was spooked as much as I was. She told me to just be careful and walk from the side and let's just keep going ahead. All of us were getting a little scared at that point in time because, as I mentioned, it was getting dark, it was raining, our batteries were dead, and then we saw this thing. Okay, so we told Maitri, just be careful, there's this really weird thing, just walk from the side of it and let's keep going ahead. And because probably of her pace of walking, she was just walking really fast, she was behind us, she probably didn't hear us correctly, but she just kept walking until she stepped one foot inside of that, and that spooked all of us, including her. And the moment she stepped inside that, I just screamed. I'm like, Maitri, stop! And she stopped and she looked at me and she's like, what happened? I'm like, just take a step back and come from the side and it doesn't matter. And at that point, though we all were spooked, we didn't have the time to think about any of that. We were all scared inside, and I could see Maitri's face, which is just like dulled down. And we're like, no, it doesn't matter, it's nothing, like you didn't step inside it or anything, don't worry about it. And all that's going inside our head is like all the negative shit that could possibly be thought of at that point in time. Now 10 minutes down we go and we finally reach the bridge, and to my surprise there was no bridge. I mean, there's not a bridge that you expect. When you think of a bridge, you think of a road between two mountains or two something that is like, going like that. And when we reach there, she's like, this is the bridge. I'm looking around me, okay, and all I see is nothing. I could hear the trucks and stuff going, but all I could see was like mountains. We were in the middle of a valley, and because of the monsoon season at that point, everything was so lush and overgrown from its size that it wasn't like we could even see the rocks that we could climb from. It must have been like at least 3 to 4 meters of greenery or like leaves and stuff that was covering all of that. So even if one of us got up, all of us were not going to go. So we decided that this is not a possibility. We walked a little bit ahead, and as we kept walking ahead, things kept getting higher and higher. The mountains just kept rising and going higher and higher. So if you went ahead, it was even more impossible to think of walking or like climbing that shit, okay? So at that point, I'm the only guy over there, okay? And these two girls, it's raining, our batteries are dead, this whole spooky thing has happened, the bridge is non-existent, and it's a jungle. If you go anywhere around the jungles in Dehradun, there's this whole thing about leopards and stuff being over there. And that was the point I was probably the most scared. Maitri was most familiar with this area, and she decided that we should just walk back now before it gets even darker. At this point, we could literally just see enough to walk. How about that? Like, there was no good lighting for me to click anything because it had gotten so dark. So that's the point I stopped shooting everything, and we decided to walk back. Now, considering that I was slipping throughout my walk while getting to that place, I was genuinely scared, and at the same time I felt responsible for these guys, and so did Maitri because we were her guests, as we talked about it later. Now 50% of my brain at this point was thinking of all the positive things, and 50% of my brain was thinking of everything that could possibly go wrong. It was fight or flight. And honestly, we just decided to keep walking back and go as fast as possible. Maitri took the lead because she was the fastest. Naina was in the middle, and she told her to take care of me because that's what these guys were doing while coming over there. And I remember I just put my shoes back on, I put everything in my bag, and we were literally running. We kept running and running and running and running, and it got darker and darker and darker, and we didn't know if we were going to make it at that point in time. The negative side of my brain is thinking of, maybe what if we have to spend the night in the jungle because it gets so dark? What if we slip in the river? There were patches which were just like deeper than you thought. And the rest of the 50% of my brain, the positive thinking side, this is where it counts. Because at this point, I have to think super positively. I have to future pace myself as to, we've already made it. And I was cracking jokes just to kind of like make people laugh and lighten their hearts, and I could feel the energy over there. Everyone was super scared, and no one said a word about it because saying a word was not going to help anyone. So we decided to keep walking and walking and walking until the time I heard Maitri scream. It's like, guys! And I remember being so scared at that point. And the next thing she says was, "We made it, guys." And I hear her from like 50 meters behind her. It's like, "We made it," and her screechy voice, "We made it, guys!" And oh my god, you have no idea. And that's when I recorded this. Okay, guys. Nance, give me your phone now. Can I have the flash? I need to record this last bit, if you don't mind. Because look how my phone's showing it. This is the time.
That's right.
Time is
7:20.
7:20. It is this dark, and let's switch some flash on, guys. This story I'm going to This story I'm going to complete once I go home, but just for proof this fucking happened. Oh fuck.
You good?
Yeah.
What, man?
Let me complete this story as I go home. We made it home, boys! So now we reached back to where we'd started from, but we still have a 5 kilometer walk back to our house. So what we decided to do was I gave Maitri my phone at the point of the bridge, and I'm like, we're turning back, but I want you to call someone from your place, a driver, and tell him to meet us at that point. Because if anything were to happen, at least he'd know where to come looking for us, A. And B, it was like this future pacing thing that I learned back in the day, that it all gave us something to look forward to. So we decided that, once we reach there, we'll have a car and we'll have someone take us home safely. But to our surprise, there was no one there. So we literally ended up walking another 5 kilometers in pitch dark mode inside the forest. But everything seemed lighter at this point, and so throughout the walk and stuff, I'd shut off the music and I was preserving battery, and it was fight or flight mode. And the moment we got there, we just played some music and we're like, oh my god, we're so grateful. And while walking back, I just remember reaching home. We fucking made it! We're alive! Guys, it's not a joke. I'm gonna end this vlog right here. I'm gonna go in for a shower.
Look at us.
Oh, shit. Passing out.
Oh my god, can we please not wet my room, you guys? I don't like it at all. I'm really sorry to do this to you.
First world problems, I tell you.
I'm really sorry. I really can't.
And meditating. I knew that this was going to be a story worth telling to our children when we grew up, and I was making jokes like, once we grow up, we'll tell our children Naina auntie and Maitri auntie and Parth uncle went on this walk, had some mushrooms and whatnot, but oh my god.